Comics.
Hey, welcome to Rockin Comics. I'm Zach.
I'm Amy.
Not a lot of books this week.
Nope.
But we did manage to find 2 Rockin Comics.
Somehow. Out of, what, 4 books?
5.
5 books.
Out of 5.
We have 2 Rockin Comics.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's okay.
But we have, you brought the awesome again.
I did.
And I dug way into the archives. So, let's start with your Rockin Comic of the week.
Alright, so, first of all, our 4 or 5 books that we had this week. For the rest of our reviews and comments, you can check out our podcast at rockincomics.com. For our Rockin Comic, my Rockin Comic, Teen Titans, number 6. Of course. Just consistently good every friggin' month. And this one just doesn't stop. You get a new, what do they call it? Metahuman?
Yes.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
A new kind of metahuman teen villain, who I suspect we're going to see again.
I hope so. I thought he was cool.
Freaky looking dude on the cover here. That's the dude.
Grim.
Who has the power to paralyze people's bodies and take over their minds.
Yeah.
And he's just freaky dude. Freaky dude. But
Freaky dude.
we get some good like team stuff going in here. Like they're still a little bit of like fighting that they're a team, but we have a team.
Yes.
In this book.
Although most of them will say we're not a team.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of Teen Titans, so this was easily my Rockin Comic.
Plus, we have an awesome guest appearance.
We do?
Static Shock.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's like we do.
Static Shock makes an awesome guest appearance in this book.
Which makes me happy as somebody who was excited for Static Shock and was very disappointed when it was not that good.
No.
At least, you know, even though they've canceled the Static Shock series as of what, 7?
6 or 7, yeah.
6 or 7. So, hey, maybe we'll get to see him kind of hanging around in here. I'd be perfectly happy with that.
Yeah, and I don't need to see him in a full on-team role.
Right.
The role he fills here, I think, would be an awesome role for him.
You know, to have a character who, you know you've got somebody else that you can count on when you need him.
Right.
Yeah, works really well.
Yeah, like he's the smart guy in this one.
Yeah.
You know? So that was good. So an awesome Rockin Comic. My Rockin Comic of the week, a little surprising. I gotta be honest with you. Secret Avengers number 23. Now, I have a huge love for Avengers. I have a huge love for Secret Avengers as a title. In the last 3 issues, I've gone back and forth.
Yeah.
Last issue, I was kind of... This issue, I don't know what it was about it, but the story, the pacing was so much better. The art, for me, worked for the first time really, really well. I've never been opposed to the art in the new creative team with Hardman's art, but I just felt it worked so well. We get some new insight. We get to see fighting between Hawkeye and Cap. We get to see the new Ant-Man, and we have Giant Man still on the team. And we get to see Jim Hammond, the original Human Torch, now on Secret Avengers. I don't know why, but he is, and I'm a fan of that. So, Secret Avengers for me, it just, for some reason, I don't know if it was when I read it or what, but I just liked everything about it. And the Beast in this, how he's characterized, kind of a smartass.
But it works really well.
So, I was a big fan of Secret Avengers number 23. That's my Rockin Comic for the week.
Here we go. 2 Rockin Comics.
Yay!
Woohoo!
But now, some awesome.
Some awesome, it's a webcomic. You can find it at redmoonrising.org. It's called Red Moon Rising. Go figure. It's a steampunk red comic. Web comic.
It's a red comic.
It's a red comic, Red Moon Rising. Steampunk, amazing art. Just friggin' phenomenal, especially for a bi-weekly webcomic. Just the amount of time that she must put into each page is just, it's mind-blowing. And the story is phenomenal. I found it just kind of by random, and I was like, oh, first page, burned through the whole thing in one sitting. It's just really good. What was it, 250-some pages?
250, I think.
250-some pages. So a really good backlog for you to go through and get really drawn into the story and the characters. I am a huge fan, and you should be too. So that's your awesome for the week.
What little I saw of it, it was stinking ridiculously good.
It's
so
just amazing.
That's what I'll be looking into next. For the archives, I decided I was digging way deep, and there was actually a time when I did not I was just a kid and bought comics.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't bag and board them. And I still have a bunch of boxes full of comics. And I pulled one out that I have such fond memories of. It's Marvel Team Up, number 68. Pow, there it is. And it's all beat to hell, I know. But so what? John Byrne is the artist. And I talk about in the podcast how you can tell Chris Claremont is the author, John Byrne the artist, on a Marvel Team-Up book. Now, of course, Chris Claremont went on to have a huge run on X-Men. John Byrne did everything. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to see this just randomly, a book I bought when I was a kid, how it kind of was at the base of, this wasn't my first comic by any means,
right.
But it's from 1978, but it was an early one, but one that leaves big impressions in my head because of the art and the story. You've got Man-Thing, you've got Spider-Man, you have a good story, you have a really cool villain named Despair, who I thought was one of the... I still think he's a cool-looking villain, and we know how I feel about cool-looking villains. You also have Jennifer Kale in here, and her mentor. So you've got Magic, you've got Man-Thing, you've got Spider-Man, and you've just got good art and story from Chris Claremont and John Byrne. So that's what that was, and so I think I'm going to start digging out some more of those older books that may not have been bagged and boarded, not in the best condition, but that have left some impressions with me, and that one is one of them. Marvel Team Up, number 68 from 1978. You probably still find it on the eBays.
Probably.
If you want. But that's it for this week.
Yeah.
You're going to be gone next week.
I'm out next week.
Don't know who will be in that chair.
Won't be one of my dogs.
Maybe a puppet. I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to find someone to come sit in. But then you're back, and then you're gone, and then you're back. So on and off for the next month and a half, 2 months.
5 months.
5 months. Whatever. On and off for a while. We'll be filling in. But we've got some cool stuff planned. Some of that stuff's working out. So make sure you check out the main website, rockincomics.com, for the full podcast and more. Until next time, I'm Zach.
I'm Amy.
Bye.